Well, good rising to everybody. This is Paul Romero on the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner Network Marketing Training. Oh, number 153. Looking at my notes there, I'm like, why do I have so many notes on this page? Because I've already got my notes ready to go there. Looks like John's not going to be with us today. That's too bad because he's going to miss an awesome hangout today. We are obviously into New Op Day here on June 29th, 2015. And we all know what New Op Day means. Own Your Life Day, 45-second presentation. What is the 45-second presentation? Well, did you know that when you take out all the time that you spend sleeping and all the time that you spend commuting and all the time that you spend working and all the time that you spend running around doing all the things that you got to get done every day, that most people have only 1 or 2 hours of their own time to do the things that they like to do? And even if they had more time, would they have the money? Well, we have found a way for you to own your life by owning a home-based business that is so simple that anybody can do it. And the best part is, it doesn't take much of your time. There you go, 45-second presentation. Bammo, just like that. And surprise, surprise, it looks like John makes it. Yeah.
Happy New Op Day. I'm just down to the wire here, punching in my little tagline for the bottom. And now I'm officially ready to go and start talking to the people today. So
awesome.
Happy Rising, happy New Op Day, Organization Day, my favorite part of the session, as you know, because what does today represent? A new opportunity to learn this awesome business system that Paul just told us all about, huh?
Yep.
So
and that's
hang out. What number is this? 154?
153.
Right on.
And that's where we are in the Own Your Life plan. Exactly. Chapter 17 is the system. And this is a great overview of this system because, it starts off, the whole thing right here just starts off and he says, the first 3 words are the first 5 words. This system involves 3 simple steps. Remember that. 3 simple steps is all this takes. That's how easy this is. And that's what you want to be, presenting to your people. And he talks about how, you can ask people in network marketing, how long does it take to actually get, the people that you bring into your organization to get out there sponsoring people? And they're going to say, oh my gosh, it takes forever, 3-4 hours, 5 days a week. Some people never even ever sponsor anybody. And it's true, they don't, because the problem is they don't teach them something that they can actually do. They don't teach them, how to drive, so to speak, as the chapter 4, I believe it is in here, or 3 in here, whatever it is, talks about how to drive. And that's just understanding and knowing how network marketing works. And then the other thing in the very, very beginning here we talks about is, it's not your place to prejudge people. You have no idea whether or not somebody's going to excel at this or not. The only thing that, and that's why it makes that this can be for everybody, for anybody. And we don't know who those shining stars are going to be. All you can do is present it to them and filter through them, and they're going to appear and let you know who they are. Because all you need, how many people do you know right now that want something, right? Well, that's how many people that are perfect for this business. If they want something, they're perfect for it. That's a lot of people, right? That's practically everybody isn't it? Everybody wants something in this life. So all you really have to do is be able to, figure out a little system in your conversations to expose what it is that people want. And that's not hard to do. All you got to do is ask. But once you expose what they want, you turn around and you show them a way that they can actually get it. 1 of 2 things is going to happen. They're either going to get really excited and want to be a part of it, or they're going to cower away from it. And most of the people actually probably are going to cower away from it. And you'll be able to, persuade by showing them this system some of those people who are, initially wanting to cower away, and they can become your silver ships, who could eventually become your gold ships. you know, and then every once in a while you're going to find that person that, you know, just boom is your gold ship, and they're just going to freaking get so excited about this and jump right in and just take off running. But you never know who each person's going to be. You don't know who's going to get excited and who's going to jump in and who's going to, you know, cower away and not have it within them to move forward. John?
I absolutely love this chapter. Basically, it's a very simple book, very simple concept. But just to reiterate what Paul said, there is, you go to one of these, I guess, quote unquote, opportunity meetings, and Paul and I really don't even host them, but maybe we should, because it's part of the system that really works for people. Someone talks for 30 minutes to 2 hours. And I'm kind of backtracking here, Paul, but this is the analogy I like from this chapter. And they get you all hopped up because they talk about the product, the marketing strategy, the payment plan, and you're all hopped up, you're all excited, and you go out there the next day and you start telling people about it, and guess what? You're crashing and burning because you don't know the system. It's like if you bought a Formula One race car, and because you have a driver's license and you're used to driving around, you know, a Dodge Caravan minivan with your 4 children to the soccer meet, and you decide that you're going to buy a Formula One car and you're going to enter the Indianapolis 500, well, you're probably going to crash and burn, you know, very quick, because you don't know how to drive that type of vehicle. You don't know the system. So basically, the overall thing about this chapter, and the point that, before I toss it back over to you, Paul, that we're trying to make here, is that there's a system behind all this. That's why Paul started to hang out this morning with the 45-second presentation. That's part of the system. A simple way to introduce what we do here to people that you're talking to in conversation. And as the chapters, as you get further along in the chapter, it kind of breaks down how to have that one-on-one conversation, how to have that telephone conversation. So yeah, exactly. I wanted to kind of skip ahead of where Paul's at, but just wanted to kind of give you my feeling on all that.
We already covered this pretty much kind of on Monday. I was just bringing all that up, what you're talking about here. I'm sorry, on what day? On last New Op Day of the last session.
Thank you. I didn't know what you meant. That's like a foreign word to me now.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck that. When am I speaking? I don't know, some sort of extraterrestrial language there. But exactly, that's it. You know, they don't know. You don't know how to drive, and the system here. What's cool about the system here is that not only he talks about in here how you can compare this to taking the engine out of that Formula One race car and tearing it apart and having to put it back together before you can even get in and drive. Whereas with this system, it's more like just saying, okay, here's the keys, be easy on the gas pedal. I'm going to be sitting right behind you, and we're going to learn how to drive this thing, you know. So, you know, getting past the income roadblock, we talked about that, where, you know, the number one reason why people don't go ahead with this is because they don't make any money right away. And then since they don't make any money right away, they don't bother to use the products or services. And that's the reason why they end up getting out of this very quickly. With this system as well, too. This system allows people to go out there and immediately, it may not be a lot, it might only be freaking $5. It doesn't make a difference what it is, but the fact that they can very, very quickly start driving and actually get somebody sponsored in, and the anticipation of the fact that I just made some money, there's going to be a check coming, that's enough to get them hooked and get them staying in and working more. And then we talked about solving the no time problem, which is what 90% of the objection is going to be is, oh, I don't have time to do this. And as we talk about way early in the chapters, one of the, you know, you don't have time not to do this, quite honestly, or you can't afford not to do this. But he talks about how, you know, that this system too overcomes that, because we're not looking for people's time. You know, in the very beginning, all we're looking for is their contacts. So we go back now to the two approaches John was talking about, where we talk about the person-to-person approach and then the telephone approach. Two very good ways to bring people into your organization. And he talks about how in the the personal approach, where maybe you invite someone to a luncheon or out to a coffee or whatever, and you don't actually bring this up until you're about finished with that. You just have your meeting with a friend kind of thing going on, but then as you're about finishing up, that's when you bring it up, because you don't want to start it right. If you sit down right away and you start and you bring it up, they're going to be asking you questions about it, and then the next thing you know, you're going to be having to talk about what it is that your program is. And then, as he talks about a little bit earlier too, as soon as you start talking about, and that's in the time problem, I mean, as soon as you start talking about what it is that your system is and all that sort of thing, what your products are, then people think you're trying to sell them something and they immediately get turned off. So you bring this up at the end of your little meeting here, and you're just like, hey, Tom, you might be able to help me out. Do you know anyone that likes to travel and go on vacation? Well, who's not going to answer yes to that? Who doesn't have, everybody wants to do those kinds of things, right? But you notice right here, we're asking Tom if he knows anybody. We're not asking Tom if he wants that. We're asking him if he knows anybody. And then when he's, of course, agrees that, oh, yeah, everybody loves that, or yeah, I do. Of course, I know somebody that likes that. Then we turn it around and we direct it at Tom. And, there's not going to be any objection to that first question. And even though this next one is directed directly at him, there's still no objection to it because of the way that we've approached this. And we're like, hey, Tom, it takes two things for people to be able to, go on vacation and travel and all that. It takes both time and money, right? Well, if I can show you how you can have both, would you be interested? There you go. Threw it right back on Tom. So that's a real cool way to, and then as we talked about earlier in here as well too, the whole thing is just get them interested and then get them to reading the first 4 chapters of this book. Now on the telephone approach, it's really cool because you actually use the 45-second presentation in the telephone thing, the way he talks about it here. Is when you're about ready to hang up the phone again, you're having your conversation, et cetera, and so on, and you say, hey, Tom, have you ever thought what it would be like if you could own your life? We're like, what? And there's usually a silence right here when you say that, because that throws people off. Own your life. I mean, most people don't even think about that. What does it take to own your life? I don't even know, right? So you throw that one out there, and then Tom's like, and you're like, Tom, after the silence there, you got to break the silence probably. You're like, Tom, what I think it means to own your life is by the time you subtract out all the sleeping time, the commuting time, the working time, the things that you have to do each and every day out of your life, most people don't have 1 or 2 hours of the day in their lives to do what they like to do. And if they did have the time, would they even have the money? Well, oh, wait a minute. How does that say? Their lives to do what they would like to do. Oh, and have the money to do it. Okay, but anyway, and we've discovered a system. I mean, you give the 45-second presentation right here, right now on the phone, and then when you get done, it wouldn't take much of your time. If you're interested, I can give you some more information. Boom, that's it. You're done. You finish your conversation with that, and there you go. And they're like, well, that's kind of interesting. I never thought about it that way. Yeah, I'd like some more information. Who's not going to say, yeah, I'd like some more information? So those are 2 really, really cool approaches.
What I like about those approaches too, and this is key to these approaches, let's just backtrack the face-to-face. You're going to, if you're sitting down at coffee, lunch, dinner, hanging out with your friend, as Paul said, you want to kind of wait to the end when you're just about wrapping up your conversation or your hangout or your meetup or whatever you're doing. You want to kind of wait to the end to actually bring up the little presentation to get them interested, because especially at this stage in the game, because you don't know how to drive the vehicle. You don't know the whole system. You couldn't possibly answer their questions. And because you're new, you don't want to kind of set yourself up for disaster, so to speak. And there's another little psychology behind this that I like, is that, if I'm out with my friend and it's the first thing that I bring up to my friend may be like, okay, what's this? Take a step back. He got himself involved in one of the pyramid schemes and he's going to sell me. You bring it up when you're first meeting up with that friend or whatever, and you're actually opening it up as if you're there to sell them something. And we're never there to sell anybody anything. This is a relationship-based system. The system is predicated on building strong relationships. So you go out to your lunch, your coffee, and you have your small talk and you talk about the family, you talk about whatever it is interests you and connects you with this person. And then as you're wrapping things up, you bring it up. Then then they're already warmed up to you. You've already had your conversation, and it can come out more natural, as if you're just like, you know what, I just thought of something. I'm involved with this blah, 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 which I'd really like to show you, blah, 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 blah. Would you be interested? I can get you some information. Excellent. All right. You know what, man, I'll talk to you later. Let me text you the link or hand them the book or your business card or whatever. And then if they start asking you questions, you'd be like, you know what, check this out first. I've got to go. You've got to go. Give me a call in a couple of days. Let me give you a call back, blah, blah, blah. And I can answer your questions then, So you're doing two things with that. You're eliminating being grilled with questions, and you're building rapport first so that you're not coming off salesy, like you're only meeting up with your friend to pitch them your network marketing scheme. And the phone conversation is really kind of the same idea. And we even have kind of a little script or a little system. We'll get into it on a future hangout, how to make a phone call maybe last 1 to 2 minutes, where you're calling them as if you're busy and you've got to run, but you're involved in something you want to introduce them to. So it's about like the quick introduction, and you let the tools in the system do the rest.
Yes, indeed. Awesome stuff, I'll tell you. And then we get into the next piece over here where we talk about, there is really only 3 simple steps here. Step 1, use your business card. Hand them the card so that they can read the 45-second presentation. And if you're speaking to them on the phone, you can read it to them. That's step 1. Step 1 is just getting the 45-second presentation out somehow. Step 2 is to hand them this, or send them the link, or the ebook or whatever it is. That's step 2, is just get them to read the first 4 chapters of this book. And of course, you always want to make sure not to say, hey man, read this book. And it's a little thin book, but still. People go, yeah, okay, I'll get to that one of these days. Just look, read the first 4 chapters. Look at all the pictures and stuff in here. There's hardly it'll take you 5 minutes to read this thing, right? Just read the first 4 chapters. So get them to read the first 4 chapters of this book, and then step 3. I lost my page there. Throwing around the book, I lost my page. Step 3 then is when now that you've got them interested in the whole idea of lifestyle, of being able to get the things they want, of how simple it is to explode something, because that's kind of what the system shows you in the beginning, is how simple it is to exponentially grow this thing very quickly. Once you get them all excited about that, now step 3 is when it's time to show them your vehicle, your company, your product or service. And I love the way he talks about, he opens this up with, he says, I tell people this: show me a business in your town that started up for $200-300 and has a monthly overhead of what, $100-200. Show me any business that's done that in your town. And you can't. There is no business that starts up and does that. I'm just saying, everybody knows what overhead of a business is. And I would say, that's all it costs to get started with our business. And with the monthly overhead, you're going to get some great products that are going to enhance your life, and you're going to absolutely love them. Here's my website, yada, yada, yada. So the second part, you're not even explaining this to them. You're not even sitting down, and you're not even doing this. You're just giving them your website to go look around on. And you do that by, they come back to the first, they come back from the first thing there after the 45-second presentation. They read the book. They're a little excited. And you're just like, I want to ask you a question. Show me a business in your town that started for $200 and that started up for $200 and runs monthly on $100 a month. Show me one business that does that. That's what our business costs. All right. You can afford that, can't you? Excellent. Let me give you the link to my website. Go check it out. See what this business is all about, and we'll talk some more.
It's literally that simple. You know, that's an excellent point to make to people is if they start throwing that objection about, oh, I don't know how to be in business for myself, or, you know, being in business for myself costs too much money. You explain that really the only aspect of network marketing that you have to worry about is the network marketing part. Go out there and just flap your gums a little bit about what's going on here. I do want to point something out, Paul. We're right at the end of time here, but it is important, and you've kind of made reference to this throughout. It's about the products. It's very important that if you're in a network marketing vehicle, that you're a user of the products, because if you don't use and love the products of the network company, the network marketing company that you are part of, you're never going to have the confidence and the belief system required to go out there and share it with people. If you yourself don't truly resonate with the product and services, you should choose another network marketing company to work with. And when you are in one where you enjoy the products and services, I actually happen to be part of a couple, but I'm only actually actively doing Swiss Gold Global. But the beauty of network marketing, when the products really are superior, there's a reason why the businesses chose this model. There's a reason why Swiss Gold, Global isn't, on the shelf at Walmart, or if you're part of Melaleuca or Isogenics or any of these other ones, is because these products are they spend their money on product development over product marketing and sales. They put together the team, so to speak, of network marketers that go out and save them on their marketing budgets, because we're out there doing it. Plus, these companies have given us this opportunity to create income off their products. But they can take the money that they would normally be spending on marketing, and they actually put more of that into the development of research and developing their products. And I just want to point out with Swiss Gold Global, like Paul said, it's $200 to get involved, and he said it's $100 a month to maintain your business. It's actually $50 a month to maintain the business and keep subscribing to the website. But you should be buying at least, in my opinion, $50 a month in the gold and building up your account. So figure it, $100 a month, and out of that $100, you're adding $50 worth of gold to your bottom line of your net value every single month that you're part of this, part of Swiss Gold Global. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there, and I'm going to turn it back over to Paul for a final thought, and he can close us out.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about all that stuff, and the book talks about all that stuff in the very beginning about what you were mentioning there. That's part of, learning how to drive and learning how network marketing works. And then, yeah, using the product and service there for all that. It's awesome. That's the way this whole thing goes and plays out, and makes it so simple and easy and cheap that anybody can do it. And so with that, we are done here for New Op Day. And oh universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. Go out and make it a great New Op Day. Find yourself a new opportunity. Maybe this is it right here. Send us an email, and you guys enjoy a fantastic, strong session. We'll see you back on the middle of it in Wednesday.